You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
It's 11 o'clock at night. It's dark. You're sitting in front of the mirror getting ready for bed. There's nobody else in the house. You see something move in the corner of your eye. You glance to your right, but you don't see anything. Another minute goes by, and you think you see movement again. So you slowly turn to your left, but again, the room is empty. You turn back around, and staring you face to face in the mirror is a cat. You jump back because you don't have a cat, and there's no cat in the room. But there he is, staring at you in the mirror. Welcome to Paranormal Pets, where you can always expect the unexpected. Each week we'll discuss all aspects of weird or spiritual animal encounters, ghosts, totems, psychic animals, animal souls, animal angels, and animals in religion, with a little cryptozoology thrown in. Now, step into the supernatural world of pets with your Paranormal Pets ghostly host, our ghost host.
Hello and welcome to Paranormal Pets. I'm your host, Brandy Stark, and we are taking a look tonight. It's going to be a little bit of a compilation episode, but one of our main focuses is going to be on white shadow animals, which I think is kind of an interesting phenomenon. I've gotten a couple of reports. So we are going to take a look at this right after these messages.
Now, time for something really scary. A word from our sponsors. Paranormal Pets will reappear before you can say Bigfoot. Don't run away.
Petco, where the pets go. Petco, where the pets go.
Pet Life Radio has tail-wagging, fur-flying, fabulous deals for our listeners from Petco. Get $6 off your order of $60 or more and up to 40% off the entire Petco site. That's right. But that's not all. Because you're a Pet Life Radio listener, you'll also get free shipping on your order of $49 or more. $6 off, up to 40% off, and free shipping from Pet Life Radio and Petco. To get these awesome deals, go to petcodeals.com. That's petcodeals.com.
Petco, where the pets go.
Dyson. The new Dyson Animal Vacs are powerful bagless upright vacuums for homes with pets. Air muscle and radio root cyclone technology generates the strongest suction power to powerfully remove dust, dirt, and pet hair from the home or car. To order your Dyson Animal Vac, go to PetLifeRadio.com/Dyson. PetLifeRadio.com/Dyson to order your Dyson Animal Vac today.
Dyson, music to your ears.
Hi, my name is Brent Atwater, and I'm the Animal Reincarnation Authority. Join me every week on Alive Again and let me look at your pet's energy to determine if they're going to reincarnate. I'll be able to tell you when they're going to come back and what they look like. So send me your pet's photo and email me your question at brent@petliferadio.com. I'm looking forward to answering your questions on Alive Again.
Every week only on PetLifeRadio.com. Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Did you hear that? Our commercials have mysteriously disappeared. Paranormal Pets is back with our haunted host, our ghost host.
And welcome back to Paranormal Pets. I'm your host, Brandy Stark, and we're trying to catch up. How's that? It has been a heck of a busy winter. It's been a heck of a busy season, and ultimately I apologize for the delay in trying to get some new episodes out. I have collected an assortment of articles that I thought we might want to catch up on, and then we'll take a look at our topic of choice, which is the white shadow animal. All right, so one article that I have, it is about symbolic animal guardians around the home. When examining the surrounding landforms of your home, we often refer to the 5 symbolic celestial animals. Locating and observing the positions of each animal helps us identify certain feng shui aspects which can be enhanced or remedied accordingly. Once you understand the basic principles behind the placement and function of each celestial animal position, you will be able to balance and strengthen the surrounding landforms around your home in order to encourage harmonious and nurturing energy for you and your family. The protective black tortoise. The tortoise area refers to the rear of your home, i.e. the backyard. In order to feel secure and supported within your home, your back area should contain a protective mountain effect, which is symbolic of the tortoise's strong, hard shell. You can introduce this tortoise feature by having a solid fence or a row of trees or a collection of large earthenware pots or statuary along the back boundary behind your home. You can also simulate the tortoise support with a shed or other building structure at the rear of the property, which is solid, uncluttered, and tidy. A statue of a single tortoise will symbolically add the tortoise influence to your backyard. However, you will still need to add a mountain feature to enjoy this protective quality of the tortoise support. The tortoise feature helps retain accumulated chi that has entered your property, as well as protecting your back. If the rear of your property slopes away from the home, then your back is weakened. You will need to add tortoise support via the above suggested features, and you should also consider adding up lights to the back area to symbolically raise the chi. The green dragon. When standing in your front yard looking toward your home, the dragon side is on the right-hand side of your property. The dragon side of your property should ideally be higher than the tiger side, as the dragon keeps the tiger energy benevolent. If your neighbor's house on the dragon side is taller than yours, then this is okay from a feng shui perspective, as their house represents protective dragon energy. Keeping this in mind, it is still important to retain a sense of balance in your surroundings, so you don't want to be totally overshadowed by any neighboring buildings. If they tend to substantially rob your home of sunlight, block a beautiful view, or overhang above your property, then the building is potentially draining beneficial chi from you. You can introduce dragon energy by planting a raised garden area with flowering trees and shrubs. Having your driveway on the dragon side, the yang activity activates the benevolent dragon energy, installing uplights to symbolically raise the chi, placing 9 stepping stones in this area in a meandering fashion, and or by placing statuettes or pots with a dragon image on the dragon side of your property. The crimson phoenix. The phoenix area is the front yard of your property. This is the area where chi first enters your property. From a feng shui perspective, we want to attract and accumulate positive sheng chi energy to this area. One of the fundamental key principles behind the term feng shui, translated literally as wind water, is the concept that positive energy is carried along by the wind or unseen energy currents all around us and is attracted to and captured by water. You can simulate the chi attracting benefits of water in the phoenix area by adding a footstool effect to the front yard in order to capture and retain beneficial chi as it enters your property. You do this by creating a mound of earth, i.e. a garden bed, that is raised like a footstool in front of the home, while also maintaining an open area in the middle of the front yard for the chi to accumulate, known as the bright hall effect. You can further stimulate the attraction of benevolent chi to your phoenix area by planting bright displays of flowers in the front yard to add positive growth and abundant chi. Red-colored flowers are especially auspicious for the front area. The phoenix influence can also be symbolically introduced to the front yard in conjunction with the above suggestions by adding statuary, artworks, whirligigs, and symbols depicting birds, i.e. the rooster, phoenix, peacock, etc. If your front yard is lower than the road level, then you can symbolically raise the chi by installing uplights in the front yard, which shine up onto the front face of the house to make it virtually appear taller. The white tiger. When standing in your front yard looking toward your home, the tiger side is on the left-hand side of your property. Ideally, any neighboring buildings on this side should be lower than your home, otherwise the tiger energy can become too strong and it can turn against you, often in the form of negative relations with the neighbors. Try to ensure that this garden area on the tiger side is lower than the dragon side. Plant low-growing shrubs and plants on this side. White flowering plants are considered auspicious for the tiger side. If If your driveway is located on the tiger side, then each time cars travel along this part of your property, the tiger is said to be prowling. This is especially symbolized at night when the car headlights travel up the side of your property, resembling a tiger eye glowing in the dark. The yang activity connected with the driveway on the left side of your property can turn the tiger against you. If your driveway is situated on this side, make sure it is kept uncluttered and relatively quiet, and concentrate on building up your dragon side to keep the tiger energy benevolent. The fifth animal is the shortest, the snake. This celestial creature represents the heart of your home, i.e. the center of your dwelling. Ideally, the center of your home should be open and uncluttered so the snake energy can flow freely and communicate with the surrounding external guardians. In feng shui, the snake is known to be the wise and sage-like creature. Its position in the center of your home indicates the need to utilize your knowledge of the surrounding celestial guardians in order to feel balanced and centered within your own home environment. So there you go. Since we are a little bit late for the new year, hopefully this will help you get some good feng shui energy in your home as we continue to move through 2012. Based on all of the predictions, we might need it. Okay, so in this particular episode, what I really wanted to look at was white shadow animals. This, to me, is a rather interesting concept. I will tell you that there aren't too many white shadow animal stories out there, and I am considering starting a new compilation page trying to collect these stories. I find them rather fascinating. Of course, I love the shadow animal stories, and I was actually inspired by a show we did here to begin to compile these stories. And oddly enough, when I was looking for more shadow animal stories, my own site came up, so I'm pleased to see that it's working in the search engine. This actually came to me and I thought it was pretty interesting. Now, before I start, remember that shadow figures are these dark figures that can be anything from gray to black, shadows to humanoid figures, to humans with hats, to humans with outlines of clothing, to, actually I've gotten a couple of reports of cloud-like shapes with floating hands that kind of go up and down, and I know that sounds odd, but I've gotten at least 2 reports of that. I myself have seen shadow animals. I've not seen a shadow figure. And of course, that was one of the focuses for one page, was actually trying to determine what a shadow animal is. Shadow animals typically show up as a cat-like creature. They are constantly in a series of motion, or there is a feeling of panic or rushing around when these animals are seen. They can be solid or they can be see-through. They usually move very quickly when discovered. And they can be as small as a mouse to the size, I think the largest one I've gotten is the size of either a bear or a cow, so pretty big. So shadow animals to me are very fascinating. There is some speculation that shadow animals may be the spirits of animals traversing from one side of reality to the other, and that perhaps the fear or the pace of running may be related to perhaps that life instinct, running away from death, and perhaps even in death continuing this motion. However, there are times when shadow animals are actually still and then they burst into motion when discovered. So I'm really not sure. I have seen at least one shadow animal. It showed up on a paranormal investigation. It looked like a hybrid of a bobcat and a raccoon, and I can't explain that any further. I am not prone to seeing things. I normally do not see anything on an investigation. So I was very, very shocked when this happened. This was very early in the Spirits career, Spirits of St. Petersburg's, my paranormal team's career. And ultimately, it was happening when we were actually volunteering to close a portal. Now, the Spirits has kind of grown since then, and we don't really close portals these days. There were a couple of fairly eccentric folk on the team who believed that they could sense the portal and close it. At this time, if there's a portal there, there's not much we can do. But it was during this attempt to close this portal that this creature appeared, and in fact I was so certain it was going to run into me that I was recording, and it ran directly at me, and I dropped my camera and stepped back, dropped my camera down. It did not hit the floor, and there was nothing on the film, I'm sorry to say. and nobody else sensed it, but it was very odd. It was a definite vision for me. I did not see its face. I saw the top and sides of its head, which were pretty round. I saw the top curve of its back and the base of its tail kind of going out, and it was kind of like a raccoon's tail. And from the side, I could actually see the top of its thighs, maybe down to the knees. And weirdest part of this is that this was a creature that had black spots. And why do I say that's weird? Because the creature was black. So how did I know that there were black spots on a black shadow creature? I don't know. I can only tell you the experience that I have had. When the spirits of St. Petersburg went on investigations, on occasion somebody has seen a spirit animal racing through a property, one of the most recent being 10th Avenue from a while back. So very amazing things. So when I got this email, I did try to put out a call to see if there were any other stories that were similar to this. But the email, and I have permission to share it, says, I guess I'm pretty young to be dealing with the paranormal stuff since I'm in my early teens, but I've been experiencing this kind of stuff since I was about 5 years old. I know I have already seen a peeking shadow on my grade 8 trip, and my friend saw it too, so I'm not crazy. What I'm really curious about are these creatures that I've seen through the years. I'm not even sure what they are, but shadow animals are the closest thing I can guess, although the creatures that I've been seeing are white instead of black. They are very fast, and I always see them when I'm turning around. Usually they are running across the front lawn or something like that. As soon as they make it across, they disappear. The first one I saw looked somewhat like a hedgehog, and it was the purest white I had ever seen. It wasn't the only one around, but I was the only one who saw it, and it was midday. The most recent one I saw was a few weeks ago in the night. It was also white, but not so pure in the dark. It seemed like a cat for a second, and I thought it was just that until it jumped up so high into the bushes and disappeared. As I was turning away, I saw its head peek out, and it jumped across the lawn and disappeared. I hadn't seen one since. So yeah, since we're talking about shadow animals, I'm just going to leave it at that, and if you have any information as to what I'm experiencing, please let me know. Okay, so I thought that was kind of interesting, primarily because in my paranormal investigative research, I can tell you of one experience with a shadow creature that I've always found interesting. It reminded me very much of a shadow figure, a human shadow figure. It was semi-solid, it had the features, it went down to the waist. I did not see anything, literally legs or anything else below the waist. I saw the torso, one arm, and part of a face. And the weirdest thing is that this creature, even though I would have considered it a shadow figure, was white. It was a pure white color, and it just seemed to be walking, and it was only for a fraction of a second, but it was walking through this one area and heading really out towards a window where activity had been reported in that location before. Again, I've done about 450 investigations over the past, 15 years. I don't really report seeing a lot of phenomena, and so this was something that was rather startling. And again, I can assure you, no drugs, no drinking. I have a very boring life in that respect. My worst vice right now is probably the caffeine from the Coca-Cola that I drink, right? So I really cannot explain it, but when I got this post on the shadow creatures being white, I thought I would look into it. So I did ask others, and I only got really one response. It said, I've seen white animal creatures too. The first time I saw 3 large animals crossing in the field ahead of me, just about to go across the road when I went down a hill, and I lost sight of them for a second. When I got to where they would have crossed in front of me, there was no sign of them anywhere in the fields. They were running, but I would have caught a glimpse of them for sure. I thought they were large white dogs. They glowed and shimmered in the sunshine, but after thinking about it, they moved just like tigers on the hunt. My son and I have seen small white creatures walking around on the floor, just like a house cat does, but we don't have any cats. So again, based on the description of a shadow animal, cat-like, quick to move, these sightings, they might match up. The last shadow animal story that I have, and then we'll take a quick break for some commercial messages and then wrap this episode up, is actually already posted from February 28th, 2011. It was submitted by Sunny, and she said, yesterday upon getting out of my car for work, I experienced a shadow animal the size of a bear rush by me quickly. It was dense and dark and had a huffing sound to it. It passed quickly like a shadow person. I had a similar experience a few years back in an old farmhouse we lived in, where I believed a doppelganger spirit of my dog, which was white clear, rushed into our room and under our bed while I was reading children's stories to my 2 kids. I quickly jumped from the bed and the story to look under the bed and saw nothing. So I think that's kind of an interesting little twist. And once again, if at all possible, we would love to hear of any other shadow animal stories, particularly white shadow animals at this point. Perhaps I can get another interview with some of our shadow experts to discuss what these could possibly be. And so with that, we are going to pause for some commercial messages. We'll be right back.
Now, time for something really scary. A word from our sponsors. Paranormal Pets will reappear before you can say Bigfoot. Don't run away.
Every pet is unique. Maybe they're gray in the muzzle, yet young at heart. Maybe they're growing out of the puppy stage and into their paws and ears. Or maybe they're just trying to maintain a more girlish figure. At PetSmart, we have the right food for your pet at a great value for you. PetSmart. Be better together.
Go to PetLifeRadio.com/PetSmart and save up to 30% on toys, collars, leashes, PetSmart gift cards, treats, and more. Go to PetLifeRadio.com/PetSmart today.
How would you like your business to reach out and invite in our audience? We have a brand new trademark concept called InfoSeeds. InfoSeeds are short 20-second seeds of information about your place of business, practice, or service. Is the best, most cost-effective way to invite us in. We only have a limited number of slots left. For more information, visit the website
PetLifeRadio.com.
Click on sponsorship information. There you can listen to a sample of InfoSeed. Remember, only a limited number of opportunities are available.
Love your pets but wish their medications were a lot less expensive? They are at 1-800-PET-MEDS. You'll not only save on flea and heartworm medications, but on prescriptions for arthritis, incontinence, thyroid, and more. And you get fast service, free shipping, and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Plus, our licensed pharmacists ensure accuracy, monitor drug interaction, and more. See why over 5 million people have trusted their pet's health to 1-800-PET-MEDS, America's largest pet pharmacy. Call now or order online.
Go to PetMeds.com/paranormal to get 10% off any order and free shipping on orders of $39 or more at PetMeds.com.
Hi, this is Ken Jones from the new Prince of Ponds podcast. You are listening to Pet Life Radio. I invite you to come get your feet wet at Prince of Ponds. My show is all about ponds, fountains, waterfalls, and all the critters that live in a water garden. Join me here on Pet Life Radio, where I answer your questions. Go ahead, splash me.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Did you hear that? Our commercials have mysteriously disappeared. Paranormal Pets is back with our haunted host, our ghost host.
Welcome back to Paranormal Pets. Actually, while I was looking about for a good way to conclude, I actually found one more story on shadow animals. So let's see what we can do with this. This is from April 13th, 2011, posted with permission. I was looking up shadow animals and a site came up for yours, and I looked at shadow animal traits and saw that it said they flee when seen, but the shadow animal I saw did not. I was sitting in the back of a car in the woods about 9 p.m. with my brother and cousin driving the car. I was in the back of a different car in the woods. I had heard a sound and I looked over to the woods. Nothing was there. I saw something in the corner of my eye. It was a dog-like shape that was sitting there watching the car, and as soon as I saw it, it saw that I had seen it. It looked directly at me. I watched it for about 10 seconds before I jumped off the back of the car and ran to the other car. As I looked back, it was gone, and it was closer to me than the woods. About 5 to 10 minutes later, I was back out in the woods with two friends. I was driving the car this time, and we were driving for about 3 minutes when they saw a white shadow person in the back of the car I had been sitting on before. So I thought they were messing around since I was younger, so I drove halfway into the woods and shut off the car. Then they saw the same white shadow people first than I did. As I looked closer, I saw about 10 white shadow people in a circle formation around the white shadow dog-like shape I had seen there before, and to this day I'm still freaked out by it. Now, my friends only saw one shadow person, and I saw 10 along with the dog shape. Now that I think about it, I also saw a wolf-shaped shadow animal, but it was black and not white, and this was during the day. It was like they were watching me or acting like normal wolves, but I could tell they were different. I couldn't see their eyes, but the outline of them, and they had a lot of thick hair standing up on their necks when they saw that I had seen them. They fled immediately, but when I went back to the house, I could hear them following me, and when I reached the front yard, it sounded as though they stopped and wouldn't or couldn't come forward anymore. And while running, it sounded like they were just going through trees instead of around them. So kind of an interesting thing. Just as a extra addendum for you, for those of you who do watch Sci-Fi Channel, they are dealing with a show called Being Human that actually has a wonderful werewolf figure in it. Personally, I guess I was always on team Jacob anyway, but it's interesting to see the animation. And of course, this season of Being Human, while the show is incredibly angsty, perhaps a little too angsty for my taste, apparently nothing goes right for you when you happen to be either undead, dead, or a werewolf. But kind of interesting stuff. They are actually featuring kind of a werewolf couple. They're starting to discuss purebreds versus, I guess, the infected, and it's going on. It's kind of an interesting thing. So if you get a chance and have a strong stomach for some of it, it's one of those more mature shows, not horribly mature, but something that's on typically around 9 o'clock on Sci-Fi, at least Eastern Standard Time. Please check it out. And in the meantime, I am going to wish all of you a happy haunting. I'm going to encourage you one more time to support your animal rescues. Anything that you can do to help an animal in any way, it's got to bring good karma one way or the other. Thank you so much for listening, and have a good day or night.
Pet Life Radio presents Paranormal Pets, where you can always expect the unexpected. Each week we'll discuss all aspects of weird or spiritual animal encounters, ghosts, totems, psychic animals, animal souls, animal angels, and animals in religion, with a little cryptozoology thrown in. Step into the supernatural world of pets every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.